Amiga. Welcome back, Amiga, to another official Kardashian After Show where we talk about all things Kardashian and what happened in their last episode. Oh my god, we have so much things to talk about. Before we get into last night's episode, I like to dive into like Kardashian real time, like what's happening currently in the moment. We just got a shocker that Khloe Kardashian just got a tumor from her face removed. So I don't know if you guys know, but lately she's been photographed having a bandage across her face, kind of like across her cheek. A lot of people noticed it during Fashion Week when she went to a fashion show, but people thought that it was part of the theme because the fashion show had a theme, so people showed up in that theme. This week she revealed on Instagram that she actually had a tumor removed from her face, vis-a-vis the bandage on her cheek. That is wild to me. Khloe Kardashian just cannot catch a break. I feel so bad for her. Luckily, she has the best doctors and nurses on her team, so I'm 100% confident that she'll make a full recovery. I love her. I'm living for Khloe this season. Kanye West has yet to calm down. You have got to calm down. He needs to find himself a Lemmy Chill gummy. It's just not the vibe. And you never know when another Ye rant is about to happen. You just start seeing it like on TikTok and Twitter, and it's just like everyone is there to capture these moments. The minute he posts something, people are ready. I swear he probably has so many post notifications subscribe to him because he knows that people want the tea, so he'll like post it and delete it because people know that he posts and deletes, so they hurry up and take a screenshot before he can delete it. Anyway, Kourtney Kardashian's Lemme Vitamins and Supplements brand got a brand new gummy added to the collection. It's called Lemme D-Bloat. I myself cannot wait to try it. I just ordered 2 bottles. Can't wait to see how these works. I know that they promote like a healthy digestive system. That's pretty much all I know about it, but I cannot wait to try it. Oh, let's talk about Kim's podcast. Episode 3 of The System in the Case of Kevin Keith just came out this Monday. I really love the way the podcast is set up. So you have some segments where Kim is actually talking to Kevin Keith about his experience, and then she airs real life audio, but because the audio is like really old and really like staticky, she'll play the audio and then she will go back and describe exactly what happened in the audio. You can listen to Kim's podcast exclusively on Spotify. It's called The System in the Case of Kevin Keith. Okay, back to the episode. I'm gonna kick it off with the scandal that happened with the Variety interview and Kim Kardashian. I'm so mad I've been calling it the Vanity Fair interview. I've been calling it the Vanity Fair interview for so many after shows, and I was watching it last night and I was like, there's no way I've been picking this up this entire time. Anyway, let's dive into the scandal with the Variety interview. Let's just start at the beginning. The Kardashians did an interview with Variety as press for their Hulu show coming out, The Kardashians. This interview later sparked tons of backlash because when asked like what advice would you give women in business, she said, get your ass up and work. And again, with my opinion, I think that the reason this sparked so much outrage is because it came from Kim Kardashian. It's just like Khloe said in the show, right message, wrong messenger. Growing up, I've always been told that I have to like work my ass off if I really want to get somewhere. And I think that it's exactly what Khloe said. So right message, wrong messenger. And that's because the Kardashians grew up in Beverly Hills. In the show, Kim wants to address the backlash and apologize and take accountability right away because she thinks that enough people got offended. And then Kris Jenner was like, well, let's just sleep on it. Let's see if this thing is still even a thing within a couple weeks. Well, it was still very much a thing, and Kim ended up doing an interview on GMA with Fking apologizing for the comment. What Kim said in the interview was that her tone and energy and attitude came from the previous question, which was, the Kardashians are famous for being famous. We all know how the Kardashians feel about, being questioned about their talents and why they're so famous. In my opinion, they are amazing businesswomen. Kim is a social media expert. Kim was really on the social media game before a lot of people were. And I genuinely feel like she helped set the tone. I'm not saying she's the only one, but I do think that she was a huge influencer in the entire social media upbringing. Anyway, shortly after the interview on Good Morning America with Fking and Kim Kardashian, the person that interviewed them for the Variety magazine, her name is Elizabeth. She came out and said, no, the question about the Kardashians and their talents came after the question of what advice would you give women in business, which is exactly how it aired on the show yesterday. But hear me out, please hear me out. I think there's a lot of truth in what Kim said. Now listen to me, please, because I know how you guys feel about how I feel about the Kardashians. But if you watch the episode, Kim comes in and she seems fine, but you do see like the tone change, the facial expressions, like what started out as like her looking like she wanted to be there kind of ended like with her like not even wanting to deal with it anymore. I don't know, maybe that's just me and my take on it, but watch the episode. Let me know if you caught that too. I didn't read the Variety interview magazine, so I don't know what kind of questions were asked, but this is a time where Kim is trying to navigate between her and Kanye West on social media. This is when he starts making allegations that they're keeping him from his kids. But I don't know if that had any influence because Kim is such a professional. She knows what she's doing. She's built for this. She's done this like so many times. I really don't think that she's one to bring like that type of negative energy into an interview. I also loved Martha Stewart's appearance on the Kardashians. She's just such a chill woman. Kris Jenner is like freaking out about having to get a hip replacement, and Martha Stewart was like, oh, do it. I did it 15 years ago and I'm fine. Like if Kris Jenner had any doubts about doing this hip replacement surgery, Martha Stewart just debunked all of her doubts. But in all honesty, I think it's very valid for Kris Jenner to feel scared, you know, because anytime you go under anesthesia, like I would be afraid. But just like she's Martha Stewart, you're Kris motherfucking Jenner. You will get through this. So Martha Stewart gets in the mix because she has peacocks, and Kris Jenner wants to gift Khloe a peacock, but Khloe's like, my baby does not even like dogs. Why am I gonna get a bird? She's like, Drew doesn't even like a puppy around her. What makes you think she's gonna want a life-size bird be pecking at her all the time? No, it's so funny. And then like, I think this guy's Mexican. I only say that because I'm Mexican and I feel like I know what I'm looking for. But Kris Jenner is like egging this guy on. She's like, how do they sound? How do they sound? Can you make the sound? But can you make the sound? But can you sound like them? And you can tell the guy's like so embarrassed. He's like, and she's like, like she like copies him, and he's like, yeah, you got it. She's like, yeah, I got it. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. Oh, we don't see, but we hear Pete in this episode. He's on the phone with Kim. Anyway, Pete's not going to space anymore, so evidently they pushed back the launch date to go to space, which is going to interfere with Pete Davidson's schedule because he's actually filming a movie in Australia. We didn't see a lot of Kourtney this episode, but we definitely will next week because the whole scandal and drama about her getting married to Travis in Sin City is coming out. I think that's when they end up getting fake married with like a fake Elvis. Oh, speaking of Kourtney, we also saw Scott in this episode. So Kendall is starting the process of like flipping houses, and she's doing it with like her friend named Fi. And honestly, like when she started talking about it, I was like, doesn't Scott Disick have like even a show that's called Flip It Like Disick where he flips houses? So I'm like, what's the tea? Because if anyone knows about flipping houses, it's Scott Disick. So I'm like, why isn't she asking him? But then later on in the episode, she goes to his house and they start talking about flipping houses. So I'm glad they were able to maintain a friendship even after the way Scott was perceived in the last season. And we didn't get any Kourtney Trav PDA. And now I'm like, what are we missing here? I swear I didn't like the PDA in every episode, but when I didn't get it this episode, I'm like, where is Kourtney and Trav? Where is the PDA? Nonetheless, cannot wait for next week's episode. They're gonna show more of the Variety scandal play out. We're gonna get an exclusive behind the scenes of when everyone thought that Kourtney and Trav got hitched in Sin City. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I watched a lot of TV. Now I'm like pushing out content like crazy. So I have really only been watching the Kardashians. Not complaining about that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to today's after show. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. I have to make sure not to like hit the mic. So I have to be like this or like that. If not, I'll be like, bye, and hit the mic. Good day, sis.